Sorry.
No, good call. There we go. So yeah, nobody needs to hear the recap. That's for you guys anyway. So yeah, I think that's where we're at. You guys have a Gorgon head now. I did make some rules for it. I wonder if I'm going to share those or wait till the tunes. I'll say I'll share those rules once the first time you try to use it again.
I'm sorry, DM. Did you just say that we have to attune to the Gorgon head?
You know, most magical items they kind of. I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah, I won't use the word attune. It's not a magical item like that. But I will share the next time you use it its properties, right? Like how often it could be used, that kind of stuff. It's yeah. Don't. I mean, you never know. It could be cursed. It's a Gorgon head. You never know.
You just kind of sleep with it, caress it. It'll
Yeah.
be fine. Like pet its serpent heads.
So let's see. I think that's it. And then yeah, unfortunately, Apple is petrified, so we don't know. You know, one thing the books don't speak about is where's a soul go? Are you just trapped inside? Are you in limbo? Where are you? Are you in the mix? And so we will explore what the party can do to help their friend, or do they leave him? Do they move on? Do they head back into the city? We will find out. Without further ado, I think what I'll go ahead and do is we'll actually start tonight with a little cold open. I haven't done one of those in a while. So let's see here. We open tonight's session hovering over dark, smoky waters. The horizon casts this magnificent blend of otherworldly lights. Hues of blues and greens kind of dance against a starry background, but it's not quite the night sky that we all know. It's slightly reminiscent of what we would call in our world the Northern Lights, where that horizon where gaseous particles collide into each other, creating this beautiful but eerie aura. Along this vast river shore, various aged, broken statues of all kinds, of all humanoids, line the shore, and dotting it as far as the eye can see. Apple awakes, opening his eyes as we push in on his statue, frozen. This is a place worse than death. Here along the banks of the Tartix River, souls trapped on the river edge, watching as THEROS and his guides usher the lost to the underworld to meet eternity. No, this can't be, he thinks. And then he looks down at the water. Along the riverbed, there are tons of temples and ruins that are all offerings to THEROS himself, the river guide. But there is not what THEROS is looking down. I mean, what Apple is looking down on. The water begins to pool around his feet or around the word, because it's literally water washing up about his knee high. As suddenly 1, 2, 3, multiple humanoids of ashen skin start appearing, and as they drudge and zombie-like walk out of the water, they all have no mouth or face, but just no eyes, but an open spot in the mouth that smokes. And they pull up each a golden mask and assemble it on their face and begin to march, not lost, but with purpose. This is terrifying to Apo, because what he sees is that the returned are entering the world in great numbers, a drove, an army. And we crash to black, and we will share a very brief credit sequence for tonight. welcome to tonight's session of THEROS. Our group is the awesome Bronze Bullies. So what we will do is we'll pick back up in the room where we left them. I take it that the room after they've killed the Gorgon, you all find yourself maybe an hour later there in the library with Proxinos, all of you poring over scrolls that you've pulled off the shelves and laid across the tables. And as we kind of settle in, I'll turn it over to you all to kind of just share your character thoughts with the situation at hand.
Out of character, would anybody have tried to sleep first, or do you think we're going straight into research mode?
Yeah, you guys are welcome to push the time forward and rest if you'd like as well. I also take researching is still a resting action. So that's fine. Unless you're walking around crawling this structure and things. If you're sitting in one room and you're reading books and things like that, I will count that as part of long rests or whatever you may be doing.
Okay. Cool.
I don't need a rest, so if you need me to look out for you while you nap, it's totally fine. I'll just, glance over my shoulder. Make sure you're fine.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Taroxy just shuts down. Yeah, no, his 3rd grade reading level is not gonna be useful in this library, so he kind of just leans back against a wall and does the statue thing.
Oh.
Medeos just keeps kind of eyeing the bag with the Gorgon head, and then just kind of as he sits down, his knees are up and the spear is between his legs, and he keeps just kind of with both hands just kind of rolling it, so you can hear the as he does so.
I stayed up when they tried to rest before, so I think Pythias is going to try to take a nap if it's available. So also, was anybody looking particularly wounded? I forget.
Y'all tell me, is anybody hurt at all? Okay.
I mean, hurt, but not I need you to heal me hurt.
Okay. Then I'll take a nap.
At 80%?
I'm rummaging through the library while they rest.
So the party begins to rest, and Proxinos will say he eventually passes out as well. And about seems like maybe 4 hours later, you hear someone walking, slightly dragging their foot, and the slight dragging of a chain coming down the hallway. As it approaches the library, no one told me they locked. The door cracks, and a large figure about as tall as Taroxy's, but slightly hunched over, wearing a robe and garment. And as you wake up and look up, you can see what appear to be two tusks from what you can see in the darkness of the hood, grayish skin.
Who goes here? Who's in the library?
They're sleeping.
Who's sleeping?
Please, it's a library. You're supposed to be very quiet in libraries. That's what I've heard.
I'm being as quiet as I can be. Are you here to forge?
Not personally, but I know some of my friends here who are sleeping. They would love to forge. They're really into forging.
Do you honor Perforos?
Stand-up guy, real stand-up guy.
And then he pulls back the robe, and what you see, kind of staring directly at you, Fitz, is a cyclops. And as he's holding a staff, and he kind of walks with a kind of gait like one of his legs was hurt maybe a long time ago. It's not a full length robe, but it just has a hood on, like very almost like a frockish, but it comes to a loin cloth type skirt where his legs are out. His eye looks a bit gray, and there's like almost looks like you can see like a slash in it, and you wonder it lacks color. It almost looks like he might be blind, and he doesn't look directly at you. He kind of peers, sensing you all. No one has been up here to forge in quite some time.
Taroxy's red eyes click on. Reckon it because he's even when deactivated, he still has full sensory input. And he turns. Greetings, wise one. I am Taroxy's bronze bull of Perforos, and I have used the forge with my friend Telman to forge in Perforos' honor.
I can smell the magma coursing through your veins. You are what you say you are. I will tell you it's been long since the days these were open to the public. Now, Perforos has one of his most favorite Gorgons guarding the forge. This is also why, as you can see, I stuck around, but I also decided to lose my sight so that I would not join the statues and prefer to be living.
Wise one, Perforos appeared to us in a vision and tasked us with defeating his champion in this forge. If that was the Gorgon, then we have completed that, but I do not believe that is the champion he intended for us to defeat, but defeat her we have. The forge is unguarded, and her head
You have
is with
killed
me.
Gortana?
Yes, wise one.
They say I've often heard that Perforos creates quite foolish toys. You are proving that this day. He kind of sits down.
This Gortana was unwise in not permitting us to use the forge in peace.
She thought you intruders. This, like I said, it has not been open. No one comes here. It is too dangerous. They fear Perforos' wrath, but what's done is done. I am not completely surprised, as I can see that seems that you have a little Perforos in yourself, clearly. As you strike me as being passionate and in the moment.
I do my best in living the tenets of our God.
Well, what do you... And I'm going to assume you guys have brought Apodex's bat, and they're standing in the room. What do you seek now?
Telman, you know the words better than I.
Okay. Tillman wakes up and say, we seek the knowledge of animating stone. We wish to create an anvil rod of our own.
Lost a fellow to Gortana. Did you? Guess she still had it to the end.
Unless you have an antidote.
I wouldn't say I have an antidote, but there are ways. You just want to make him move again, or you want to bring him back? You want to bring the soul back?
Soul would be a high priority, but movement would be a good start.
Hmm. Let me see. Starts like walking, and then he looks. He goes. Fitz. So looking at Fitz. He goes, "Little one, could you?" He slides. Puts a ladder up. Could you climb up there and get that heavy stone book on the third story for me?
That seems
Yes,
So Fitz goes
with gusto.
and you do it very quickly, and you don't need to check or anything. And then so as Fitz descends, you're almost like, oh, you try to like tuck this thing under your shoulder, and what you find is it's quite heavy. Is this bronze plated book with thin bronze pages, and you hand it over to him.
When I get down off the
Yes.
ladder, I like almost fake pretend to drop it and then hand it over.
Oh,
Gotcha.
it can take it. And he grabs it, almost palming it in one hand, like it's almost like what's a big book to you, big tome. It's like a little notebook to him in his giant hands. Starts to flip. He goes, "There's only one of these. It is the manual of Anvilrot. It is how you build one, and how you forge and install a soul into one." And he kind of flips and he goes, "But what you're asking is quite different than this. You're asking to save someone who's already inside. Now, what I will tell you is you've saved yourself some forging time. Well, Gortana did, as this would normally take you about 90 days to pull off. I think with having the forged form already there, we could pull off with my help, 4. But, see, he goes over and goes, the reason you don't need to forge the Anvilrod is because Gortano is a special type of Gorgon. And Apple looks like gray stone, like cracked stone. And he just rubs on Apple's face and it flecks off. And he starts to rub it and tear it, and it's just ash. And under Apple is a fully bronze statue. She turns you into a bronze statue. So he is fully bronze through and through, and he's like stuck in that pose. So you see, half the work is done for you. But that doesn't mean it will be easy. There are 2 ways to do this. The book will give us the directions, which we have, and the instructions, and I've done this before, and there's levels to the quality this can be, especially if Perforos does not bless it. But you'll need a diamond. And while that should be quite difficult to find here, it's not impossible, as the mine shafts are on the other side of the complex. That diamond will need to be worth a good amount, because we will need to burn it and install it into the statue. I will also, in addition to the diamond, I will need a few spells to burn and wave over the figure once it's done, which I have. Animate object, animate dead. I'll need to burn a couple of those. But if you bring him back this way, with everything that I have mentioned, he will be himself. But he will be Anvilrot till the day till he takes his last breath, or until he is destroyed. The other way is if you want to give him a fighting chance to take his old form. There, deep in the mountain, there is a box, a tomb. It's known
as the vessel of the god mode. If you can find it and bring it back, legend has it that when a god forms a champion or formed humans, they would let the clay of the man cure in these tombs. And then they would gain life, breathe life into them. And the first man is when they put them here on THEROS. If we get one of these while he is alive, we can start to grow his physical form inside of the box. And then, when the time is right, he could simply swap, or if he loses his metal form, he will wake up in the box. That way, will take more time and will be much more dangerous, as the boxes are often guarded by, even though I get it, you're in Perforos's blessing, they're still guarded by nymphs and fire who would probably attack on sight.
This is a great boon we ask of you, Old One, for your wisdom. What can we give you in return?
I don't need much. I don't require anything of you. If you say you are who you are, and if you are blessed by the Perforos, then I am simply an aid to my god. And if you are not, you will be doing me no wrong. You will only be doing yourself a great disservice. I was one of the few forge masters who, after the catastrophe in Akros long ago, came back here to work. And I've had nowhere else to go, and so I have stayed. I live a very solitary life.
So, you are aware of anyone who visits the mountain, Old One. We ask, have any other visitors besides ourselves been present? Perhaps a human male and female recently?
Only one human has walked these halls in many years, but you are the first I have seen in almost the past year. Pintos, he used to come here from time to time after the war, after the defeat of the dragon Thraxis. And I should probably go back. I don't want to bore you with a long story, but if you know about Akros, you know that the dragon Thraxis attacked the place, and Pintos is the one who destroyed it. The dragon, after Perforos, this used to be his favorite forge. But Perforos often goes off and moves on to make new things. And Perforos moved deeper into, this is much before my time, but legend has it that Perforos moved deeper into the mountain, deeper into the core of the volcano, where he has created a fantastical new forge, one that would probably, the heat would melt us just being in its presence. And so we came here to pay our respects, and we have built and crafted for him over the years. And in time it was good, but eventually Thraxis came to make the hall, to make the forge his home, his lair. The dragon was mean, but he seemed to have favor of some kind with Perforos, because he built beautiful weapons for himself that he would take back to his lair deeper in the mountain. And then Pentos came and saved us from his tyranny. and then he would return. And being honored by Perforos, he sometimes forged himself. That is the only human I've seen, but no one recently.
We thank you for your wisdom, wise one.
Yes. Well, get your rest. Do you need anything? Got quite stale bread. It doesn't. Nothing lasts long here. It just dries in the heat, but it's edible if you need anything. And hopefully, you have your own water. Can't. That's one thing I cannot afford to give you is mine. Otherwise, take your time.
Sorry,
Do not
DM, just
steal
to
any books.
clarify, where did you say we can get the diamond? Is that close?
So yeah, here in the forge, I can actually share a map a little bit later because
There's
I've
a
kind of
mine.
there's all yep. So of course, where you guys are at, across from your room, there's a library, and across from that is the forge, like right across this grand hall. And in that room, that's where you all fought the Gorgon. Then a couple of halls up, no need to draw it out, but like going up north into the structure, some twisties and some turning ways. There's a long hall where there was a doorway where you fought the Gorgon in that room. But if you keep going straight outside of that room, there is a hole, pretty much the structure ends, and you go into the mines and the shafts, and he tells you that there are scaffolding that are built there from ages. Some of it is a bit rinky-dink, but that is where you would go searching for, ore such as, bronze and copper and quartz and diamonds. All of it can be found to some degree, but depending on how good you are at knowing what what to look for, it could take some time. It's not something that might be overnight.
And then there's the option to go deeper to find this
Yes, and then
magic box.
he will give you the supplies, pixes, things like that. If you need all the adventuring gear that you would need, pulleys and things to go up and down the caverns and the shafts, things like that. But most of it has been built out in a way. So a lot of it has survived. But he describes that one cave that one of the last caves that opened before the place was shut down or before they stopped using it, was the one that supposedly goes to where Perforos keeps the god mode. So those are the two items you would need. Getting both of the items could bring him back fully. He'd be able to restore himself whenever he wants. Bringing the one back would just make him anvil rod. And making him anvil, I think he to make this clear, he does know and explain that spells like a greater restoration, once you make him anvil rod, may not work, because if I cast greater restoration on Taroxes, nothing would happen.
If we came back in a year and found the box,
You could,
then we could still grow his body.
Yes, could do that. Could do it later.
Friends, my worry is that 4 days is already losing time. How long do we wait before we pursue Penthos again?
May I ask why you are all looking for the great champion Pentos? Such a honorable man.
Well, I mean, he kind of did something kind of not so honorable, kind of very recently to two people in this room who just so happen to be his relatives.
And he looks around, like, seems like not to know who. You could tell that this, while he knows the champion, he's never seen Proxinos, he's never seen Medios. Does Medios say anything to this?
Raise their hands, but one of them is probably asleep. Yeah, he's asleep.
Oh.
Theos grips the spear, and you could almost, like, if you were standing close to him, you could hear the grip on it just tighten, and you would look at Proxinos and just tell the Cyclops, we do not consider him an honorable man anymore.
He seems to be taken aback by this. Something... you have me at a loss of words. What makes no sense. Satyr, are you saying these are
Let
Pinto's
me
sons and
fill
that he
you in.
killed his sons?
Kind of in front of an entire stadium of people at the games. He kind of threw that spear and
Well, what did they
skewered
do to
both
deserve
of
it?
them.
Akros is a military society, and it would be only the strong survive. Maybe you were weak, Medios.
He just pounds that spear in the ground.
Wise one, the son of Penthos wields the spear that fell the dragon.
And then he just kind of kneels down on one knee.
Oh yeah. He has broken the covenant of family and attempted parricide on his own sons. And I believe he is the champion of Perforos that he sent us to defeat. For when we defeat him, we will claim that title for ourselves.
I am sorry. I must pay respect was due, even though I am quite confused. Kind of puts his hood back on. If this is where it has come to, I stay out of these matters. I am sorry for his dishonor, though I do not understand it. That is not the Pentos I know. And with that, I will need some time alone. I will leave you.
Now we have time
do
to
whatever
think.
we want.
And so he kind of walks into the hall. And the thing about a Perforos Forge is the halls, it almost feels more like a museum than just a workspace. It is almost
Asks, I will be like, well, if that bitch was in the right, then why did he run away after? But I hold that back. I can't throw that in and tell them.
Okay, you're back. But
I'm back now. Sorry. See.
Just assume we missed the whole last minute because
Okay,
you froze
got it. Yeah.
and then left.
Well, as soon as it stopped, so the last thing I basically said was that I was basically sharing about how the halls did you guys get all? Were you guys start talking about what the forge looks like, or no?
That's when you cut out. You froze for a good minute and then you cut out.
So the hall just looks like it's almost like a museum. You know, it's articulate. There are things that are made or hung in the halls, and plates. Some of them huge shields that no one could ever wield that just have stories, carved in them. This is all just for flavor, just so that you know that this place feels as much like a temple and like a forge and like a museum as it does anything else. That was really it.
This is totally going to be our HQ.
With a bit of an investigation check, is there anything here useful for some of our other party members? A la our Fishman or possibly Baby Safe?
And also, did I hear correct when you said this Cyclops said that Penthos also came here to forge other things?
Well, I heard the dragon was forging. I don't know what Penthos forged.
He said Penthos occasionally forged things and that the dragon forged a lot, so there may very well still be a dragon horde in here somewhere.
I'm sure that's fine.
Got like an extra +3 trident laying around or anything like that now.
Is there a time limit that we have with which to return Apodexis' soul?
I don't think there is.
No.
It becomes how much time you want to spend.
Did music come back at all? No.
It keeps coming in.
You can hear it?
We've got atmosphere.
That's weird. Okay, it's coming out of my screen, but I need it to come out of my headset. So let me see if I do this. Do you guys lose it now?
Yeah.
You guys lose it.
Yeah.
But now I hear it. This is weird. It makes no sense. God
See if you can change your speakers on your computer to the mic. That might work.
Yeah, because right now, if I do that, you guys are coming out.
Yeah, Nikki, it seems like our only time limits are self-imposed.
And
Also,
Yeah, don't worry about me. Continue to
have the
roleplay while I get a couple things together.
Food?
with her,
That's on her. She got food. She chilling.
wouldn't she be a great ally, sir?
yeah.
We bring her up here. We ask the old one where Penthos chills, because maybe Penthos has had access to the dragon's horde this whole time. And
on any of the casting, this is the one that was like the conduit, right? It's fine
Yes.
dying. Like, what's wrong? There's nothing wrong with dying.
he was
if we're
intended to die. Oh, go ahead, Colin.
Just trying to do a twofer here. The priestess who betrayed us. She's a fancy person. She might have a diamond.
So he wants to go back down, see if she has a diamond, kill her first. And
Yeah,
that
try and follow the
come
path.
back
I
up.
mean, and we also have somebody's mother to be concerned about.
So we're
My-
just leaving Apo here that whole time.
My
I mean,
worry
he's
with
okay, right?
He's not going anywhere.
my worry with going back is that the temple was on fire when we left it. So if there was anything there, it might have been burned away in the conflagration.
But if they were diamonds, they wouldn't.
Well, yeah, but I don't think she'd leave them out. Like, if you're gonna hail and bail, you grab the valuables before you go.
Maybe we can find some clues there.
But
It seems
another
like we've lost
twofer,
Penthos.
another twofer could be if the dragon's horde is still here, Shiny's in the horde. There could be a diamond in the dragon horde if the dragon horde's still here.
We do
Possibly with
know
the
that we
dragon.
definitely know there's diamonds here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dragon's dead. Unless the baby dragon's here.
exactly. But the dragon's horde is still in the
Still
mountain.
lit, yeah.
And like you said, the dragon forged a ton of fun stuff all the time that would be in the horde
Ooh.
that would still be in here that Penthos would have had access to.
So do we succumb to the power of greed?
Oh, that's not even a question.
It's a very
Is that,
difficult
I mean,
question.
I think hearing that Medios would be like, so there's more weapons that my father crafted. That's worth searching for.
So we try that before the mines?
I mean, I feel like we were kind of in a hurry to get to Penthos, but if we're one person down, that's kind of a rough fight.
But he hasn't been here recently.
Right, but we were like in hot pursuit,
Yeah. Well, at the very
leaving the
least,
city.
we have to wait 16 hours for Proxenos to wake up. So we
True.
can probably go get some diamonds.
Can
and
do
then
some
see
quick
what
looting.
happens.
Yeah. We'll leave Apo's statue to stand guard over Proxenos' sleeping body. And we'll go
Perfect.
look.
Okay,
We'll go look around.
Let's just do a little scouting party.
Okay, as I was frantically trying to fix my sandwich, you guys should hear it now, and I hear it now.
Yeah.
You are going to go back down the mountain a couple of hours to the camp. No. Okay, where are we going?
Searching
We
for the
want to
horde.
explore
Oh.
the forge a little bit and see if there are maybe pockets of caverns that we could explore and set up a base camp and hopefully stumble on the dragon horde that might still be here from when the dragon was here. Maybe.
Okay. The way it is laid out, I'm going to I'll share one image with you as an example. Let me see if I can pull it up. I wouldn't say the forge is exactly, there's probably a few things I moved around, but I think it will give you a good idea of the expanse and the size of the place. 1 second here. See if I can.
But if Tillman wants to anvil rod himself, we've totally figured out a process for it.
Tell who's eyeing it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I mean, if we're going with the name Bronze Bullies, this could just be our thing.
Just a lot of us become bronzed.
If Pike Chase is doing it, I'm definitely doing it. There's no.
Problem
dog
there
it.
is
Well,
how am I
then
going to
we're all
swim
like-
on metal?
That feels so like a vampire spawn, having that box that you can just reapparate to if you die.
It's basically like a lich's phylactery in a weird way.
So basically, to
It's
give you guys,
simulacrum.
just so you know, as D&D players, it's pretty much it's like spell clone. You've ever read the spell clone? You have to have a box, and this box is worth like 80,000 gold. And yeah, you can pretty much clone your body while you're out doing other things.
You done messed up now. Now we're gonna just steal the box.
Does that work?
But it's
For-
not something it's not going to work with everybody. It's going to work with
That
that,
was my
unless you
next
find
question. We're just gonna
multiple.
sell it.
Unless you find multiple boxes.
You
Oh,
just
yeah,
told
can
us it was
just
worth
sell it.
80,000 gold. We out here.
It might be worth. we oh man, I cannot find my.
So each
map.
individual who would want to be a bronze bully would need a box.
Even
Yes,
better,
if you-
we find a way of
I don't need my
replicating-
four back.
we need a spell that replicates items. So we just make 6-7 boxes, we all phylactery it, and then we can just have bronze anvil rot forms that go do everything while our physical forms are safe inside our boxes. And we become immortal.
It's a lot of work. I just want the bronze
That's
part.
the long game right there.
Because then we can walk up and throw trash around Heliod's temple, and when he shows up all angry, we can be like, what are you
has
gonna
Heliod
do?
done to you
Kill
all?
us?
I'm sorry, it's
Medios, you gonna let them keep talking trash like
boxes.
this?
Yeah, we have
What are
to
you
Yeah.
gonna
among
do?
us now.
Kill us?
No, I don't want to
No.
be any party conflict.
Now he's interested in those weapons that now he knows his father was forging.
You know, we're much better foragers than your father's trash ass. Don't worry about it. We got better stuff for it. Don't take that spear in your hand as something your father forged. Like that was
Oh no.
of the god.
Yeah, I've got another two-handed weapon to upgrade when we have time.
Uh-huh.
So they're going to search the. Okay, so we're going to search the. And if I could find. It's actually in the book under per. It's a similar layout to the. It's called the Forge Temple. Let's see. I hate when I can't find stuff that I just was looking at a minute ago.
One of the fancy basic +1 spear. +1 spear or a shield would be nice. I'll take that.
The volcano temple?
Yes, the Volcano Temple.
Yeah, I just pulled it up at the book.
So if you if you're in the book and you look at it, what page is it on? God.
In D&D Beyond, it's at the very end in the appendix.
Oh, it's in the append. Oh, that's a good way to get to it. Just there's like the maps and the.
Yeah, I can totally throw the image up in chat. I just pulled it off the book.
That sounds good. Let's do that. It's gonna be faster than I will.
Boom.
Sweet. Okay, great. Yeah, everybody take a look at that. And so what I'd say is, and we'll say that the old hermit Cyclops, which I'm surprised no one has asked his name. But if you look at it, yeah, so the library is where you guys are at. And while the structures might be slightly different, the overall layout is the same. The forge is next to it. And then the ore processing chamber going from your right to the left. And then you will see up, there's some stairs that lead down and they go to the mines. They're at the very northwest side of the map. And then everything towards the bottom is kind of like where the storage area is and where the different shrines are and where the forge masters slept and different things like that. There's different quarters and a lot of just dusty open halls that are just in disuse. And since, I imagine Monty is giving you, or the hermit, Cyclops is giving you this map or as a scroll to keep, he also says that if anything that's forged is usually blessed or finished in the sacred volcano area, which is where the statue of Perforos would be, and that's the lava red room at the top in the natural cavern there. and there's usually there's pretty much a broken, ruined platform where a lot of times those Forge Masters looking for the ultimate blessing would finish the item over with Perforos pretty much looking at them do it in that statue form.
So what I'm hearing is my weapon can get even better.
Not anymore. It's probably a new weapon.
I've got plenty.
I mean, if you want, you can try to reforge it. Yeah. So if so I was trying to say, so that leads where it says to the mines, then I think the mines lead deeper into the mountain. You would have to either go through the mines to the cave, or either other open caves, even if you're not going into the cave where you could kind of descend into the volcano, or you could try to learn more about where the dragon's, horde might be. Yeah. So as Proxinos sleeps, we are just kind of walking the halls right now. Is that what I hear?
We totally asked for the guided tour.
Yeah. And so he's giving you the guided tour, and he also would have let Medios know that on that kneel he nailed also because that spear, he remembers a time when that spear was forged, and it was forged here. So that's why it was the blessing of Perforos, but also given a kind of a chef's kiss from Heliot.
That's what I think. That's what he kind of figured when he saw that.
Yeah. So as he gives you all around, he goes, if you are not going to try to excavate a diamond, and you're saying that you want to take the dragon's hoard, no one's ever actually found it. I will tell you, the dragon never entered. From what I know, we would always typically scatter, run and hide when Thraxis was around. No one ever saw him in the mines. That does not mean his lair, any dragon's lair, especially a red dragon, it's in the mountains somewhere. Dragons have different ways of moving. And I believe, just personally, that he would make his way in through the actual, points to the map where the lava pit is. He would literally just come out of the lava like it was a lake into the structure. So that doesn't mean it can't be, his lair can't be gotten to, but when he took over, no one's even been back to, and he's not strong enough, so no one's gone in there looking for it. So yeah, he's like, may Perforos be with you.
Thank you, Ancient One.
And then not because of the dragon who's dead, but just because of everything that lurks in the dark and the heart of the mountain.
And we thank you in our speediness. We forgot to even ask you your name.
I am the Cyclops Forge Master, Mati. And I have not even gotten yours. I just heard Perforos, and I'm a good judge of a character, and you all seem okay.
I am Medios, son of Penthos. And he kind of flourishes the spear. Future, champion of Heliod.
May what grace was lost with your father may the good part be parted onto you. The part that have weaved the tales that we survived on is that telling in these halls. Godspeed to save your friend. And Artemisia, your mother. I know we don't say her name often, but Artemisia is Proxinos and Medios' mother. Yeah. And so I take it, they grab some supplies, and they start to kind of walk down this dark hall. Does everyone have anyone without dark vision? Because it is quite dark.
Oh, I cast light. I cast light on my shield.
Begins to glow. Your shield, as Telmoon begins to lead the way. And as they travel, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, for some reason, Minotaurs are one of the 3 species in the game without dark vision.
So it gets quite tough to see here, and the walls. It gets more humid. The air gets muggy. You immediately start to sweat. Good. I would say you guys were in the middle of. You were remember 4 hours in. So did you want to finish your long rest, or did you want to just take the short rest and continue?
She a long rest sounds
I'll
great.
take the long.
Okay. So then all
We're
this
not
is.
in a hurry. Yeah.
So I think that it's probably early in the morning, though you haven't seen the bright of day. It's as dark as it is night in these cramped, claustrophobic tunnels that you begin to crawl through. And as Telmoon's kind of pushes ahead, what's your marching order?
Telmoon in front, and I'll be right behind him.
All right. Telmoon, Taroxys, followed by.
I can go next.
So then Fitz, and then either Medios or Archriton or Pythias.
I can be next.
Okay.
I'll show a little bit of trust.
Let Medios walk behind.
And Minios would shout to Taroxys, "Use your anvil rot to spy ahead."
I don't know if it can see any better than we can.
Damn it.
And we're in a tight tunnel too, so I don't imagine it's flying very much. It may just be perched.
You guys are just kind of crawling, pushing the shield back and forth, and the rock. There are areas where rough stone jut out and glitter just a bit. Nothing sparkles or fully shines. And you come to a large room a large cavern you're standing on a scaffolding, and it goes down another couple stories and then another story up. Scaffolding goes around the cavern, stalactites dripping from the ceiling, and off in the distance, through larger halls, you can see bubbling magma off in the very, very far in the distance. Some areas kind of hiss as smoke, natural gas is escaping up towards exits in the mountain, and you see you could walk along the scaffolding kind of around this natural cavern. And you can see where old leftover picks and things like that were being used to pull out large chunks and put in, containers or wooden buckets, stuff that's just been in disuse and hasn't been used for years. And then on the other side of the cavern, you see basically if you walk around it almost like a catwalk. If you walk all the way around, there's another tunnel that continues on in, and then looking down into the lower areas of the room, there's another tunnel at the very bottom that continues on in. Or you can kind of look more into this room if you'd like. You just continue, or do you
Lead on, shiny shield man.
Straight? We're going straight? Okay. Straight it
straight.
is.
Can I get a a perception check from everyone, or actually a nature check? I want a nature check.
No, you don't.
I got a 0.
5.
Okay, let's put that the highest.
A 17.
Okay, I was looking for a 15, so looks like Fitz might have it unless somebody's higher.
The rest of us added up did not hit the 15.
So as Fitz is used to kind of being easily distracted by shiny things, something stands out in a wall and it's kind of shines towards her. And what this lets her know is that, there could end up being pretty things to find in these walls. She does understand that it would take spending some time clearly, or to have Taroxys try to tear it out. But you realize that if you're in this room, you can go on, but you could also spend time investigating, finding the right areas of the wall, and then making kind of strength. With some good strength, you could excavate rock, and then from that, you might be able to find materials in it. And not just while the diamond is probably going to be the hardest thing to find, there could be other materials that could be used for the forge, to forge with, or to barter with, or use later on. Just to let you know that.
As soon as that shiny thing catches her eye, she's gonna stop short, and everyone else is probably gonna bump into her, whoever's behind her, and she'll be like, "Oh, do you guys see that?" And she's gonna cast light on a dagger and trot over to it, and see if she can't make the light bounce off of it, and be like, "Do you guys see this?"
It's a bit taller than you. You can't quite reach it unless you jump up, but it looks like a huge chunk of, it could be colored, almost like colored glass. It has a very blue hue to it. And as you put the light on it, inside it kind of glows, and then it sparks for no reason, like a firework, and it showers a bit and then stops. It's spitting a bit of, almost like shooting some firework type little sparkles out of it that kind of fall down to the ground. They don't hurt anybody. They don't hurt you. They just kind of sizzle and is out. So did you also get the feeling that
you guys see this?
Magic runs through these natural mountains too. Built by the gods, built partially from the Nyx.
Place a marker. We can catch you on the way back.
A marker? What? You don't want to check this room out a little bit more? Maybe there's other things.
It's
I
mine.
just spin in a circle to try and see if I could catch the light on any other pieces of the wall.
Do we have something we can just bash the wall with? Maybe.
Yeah, you guys all have. You all have items.
I have little daggers.
Tell me, you guys we all took.
We all have
gear.
we all have a pig. You've got
if not,
rope.
there's picks
in
the room behind us.
So you guys are kind of.
Roxy's has a whole mall that's probably Fitz's size.
Probably just slams the.
Don't use them all to excavate.
Give me a strength check if you want to break it out, Taroxys.
All right, he's gonna slam it against the wall.
Nice.
15.
Okay. And the nature check was 15 from you, right, Fitz? And then, okay.
And nature was a 17.
15. Okay. Give me a percentile roll. You hit, so your strength slashes and a bunch of rocks cascade, and Fitz her little punk of rock, still with other rock around it, you'd have to break the glass is inside of it. She catches that.
I'll throw a D100 down.
Yep, give me a D100.
That's a whole 29.
All right, so at 29, you're surprised. That's because lower is better on this roll, not higher. It's because you have a 20% chance of finding something valuable, right? Whether it's be. So you actually find a. Right, as Fitz catches the glass. Actually, let me roll for which one this is. There is a small little, on the back of the rock that it's attached to, a little ruby, a little red ruby is attached there too, and you can tell that's worth something. It's not a very, very large one; it's a very small piece, but probably still worth a good cost. And so she's able to kind of pick that piece out and pocket it, and she can do what she wants with the glass.
Look what we found.
So every time you do that, you guys have to tell me how much time you're willing to spend doing that. The longer you spend, the more likely you are going to find something, the lower the difficulty will be. But you will make 3 checks, a nature, an investigation, and then a strength check, and then I will tell you what you find, if anything. So that is the process, but you found that. You guys can continue to move on if you like.
Telmoon, you guys are going to need to stop Telmoon, because he's looking for a dragon horde.
Yeah, so when you guys look up, Telmoon's like, you see the gold, like the shield is lit, and you see little Telmoon disappearing into the darkness on the other side of... And so, like I said, hopefully I've made it very clear. It's just like, it's like an open cavern, and then the scaffoldings are all along the sides, and there's like ladders that go up and down to each level, right? And you all on the same level. So you just kind of walked around the sides till you got into the other side.
Teroxys is going to kind of dash after Telmoon. We can come back later.
Wouldn't it be faster to hunt for a diamond than a horde that no one's ever been able to find, you guys? And then she trots after them.
With the glass still just in her hands.
I guess we're going.
Telmoon will stop. If you guys just want to hunt for diamonds, we will keep hitting the wall.
Teroxys, I need a dex. Teroxys, I need a dex save. As the ground, as he's running very hard, the old wood collapses, and he needs to jump out of the way.
It's gonna be one of those days. It's a floor.
like boards and stuff start collapsing around him.
D&D Beyond dice at it again.
Oh yes.
Wave the finger, Nikki. Wave your finger at him. Tell him.
I try not to say it out loud, but I always think it really hard.
I technically did switch the dice.
I'm sure that helps on some level.
Yeah, someone will come to the edge of the scaffolding, look down, tie a rope, and rappel down to the lower level, because there's also a way to go forward there. It's easier to go down than to get Teroxys back up. So
did he fall? I don't know. I didn't hear the number.
Did he?
Oh, it was a 4. I definitely fell.
Oh, he fell. Well, here's the thing. I will give you, it will be more difficult since there's no one there to catch you, and you would also be extremely heavy to catch in the first place. But athletics check to catch yourself and to hold on before tumbling down.
Oh, that's a lot better. It's a 23.
Okay, so you kind of grab you miss like grabbing the wood in front of you, but there's a post there, and you grab that post, and that post kind of breaks a bit and starts to like lean forward and slams. It goes all the way like across. It breaks off and flies over and slams on the other side, right where Telmoon is, and you're able to scramble to get yourself up. Unfortunately, though, now for everyone else, there's now a gap that needs to be leapt across. It's probably a 30-foot gap that's open now. But then again, and you look around the other side, you guys could easily go on the other side and work your way through their way. The only problem about that way is there are a ton of stacked like crate amphoras and old jars and things like that you'd have to break or work your way through or climb over to go the other way. So it has created a slight issue, to not heavily other than falling to your death, but working your way around them. Or you can climb on the scaffolding, around on the on the sides, almost like you can kind of shimmy across, or even climb the sides of the wall. I'll leave it up to you all.
I mean, breaking amphora sounds kind of fun if we want to go around. But at this point, it's just
it's Medios and
Medios and me.
Yep.
So is Teroxys on the pole still? Is he on the floor? Or is he?
Oh, he just climbed up, but he was hanging on it's pretty much like a post, and he grabbed that giant post and it swung him all the way to you and slammed into that walkway, and so he was just able to climb over and get over. So he's over there with you.
Yeah. Okay. Me and you are on one side, they're on the other.
They're on the
this
other.
New gap.
I mean, in the Feywild, they said I had this thing called Mad Hops. I think I can make.
How about this? Are you're jumping already?
Yeah, she's jumping.
There's
What's your strength score?
There's a rope.
What's your strength score?
My strength? Oh gosh.
Yeah, I always forget how jumping works. What is it? The strength score?
It's going to be double her strength score plus a D8, and you said 30 feet, and I'm worried that's not going to be enough.
Don't I have mirthful leaps?
That's
or
the
something?
D8.
That's the D8? Well, shoot. We'll see.
Oh, it is
just
strength based, huh? It's
the number at the top, right? I
Mhm.
just have a.
But if you get a running
plus
start,
one.
what if you get a running start at
That's
something?
why it's double her.
That's why it's double.
the
Okay.
strength, yeah.
So she can only go how far without making it? So then, otherwise, it has to be a test, or she just.
I mean, otherwise, that's
Or
up
I
to you,
fall to my
DM.
death.
No, I would
That's
just, I would,
what you could do
I was
without
make-
trying, you know.
Yeah, but
you
you
know,
have
that's
to,
the
you have
easy
to
stuff.
try, because there's a way to do it where you can just automatically make it. You would be trying to make it with a leap.
Yeah, I'm gonna leap. So it's what? My strength is.
Just give me your
Plus one.
athletics and to push off.
Yeah, you're
And-
going to need to do like a super feet thing. It's not going to just be a jump.
So a D20 plus my athletics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just
Ooh,
in
okay.
case to help, Taroxes, I think, has a moment to see it happening and kind of like in one movement whips out his halberd, stick wood side out, and kind of like
Bridge the
leans
gap a
over to.
little?
I'm sorry, do
Okay.
you have a halberd blade in your chest right now?
No, he's holding it kind of like backwards.
So it's his hammer that
Yeah.
he's just like
It's
holding
a
out.
halberd.
The halberd. Okay, the halberd.
Yeah, he's
So the
the
blade
haft
part
of the
underneath
halberd.
his
All right,
armpit.
I'll
You know
do
how
that.
leverage works, right?
He's real strong.
The
Okay, so
springboard,
I
it's
got
fine.
my athletics was a 10,
Okay.
and then I roll a D8.
Yeah. No. You just got a
No,
10.
no.
But
No, I just
what
got
now?
10, that's
but
it.
he put his thing out, so I'm trying to give him I'll give him a bonus to that. I can't see it hitting the. So as you're leaping out, you go sailing like a good 20, 5 feet, and the thing you're trying to grab onto, the back of that halberd is right there, and her little hands just kind of barely miss it. And she
With
starts to fall.
mirthful leaps, I'm allowed to add a D8 to my D20 roll.
Oh, is that
Right?
what you? Oh, okay.
No, you add a
whenever-
D8 to your normal jump.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, got it. So normal jumping does. So what you
Or
can
This
read
is
it.
different.
Read it. Sorry, could you read it?
Whenever you make a long or high jump, you can roll a D8 and add the number rolled to the number of feet you cover,
yes.
Yeah, that's different.
even when making a standing jump.
Yeah, that's different,
Because
Okay, okay,
standing jumps
okay.
are based on the movement of the model and how far you can like move over the gap. But because you could not make it, I just let you make a roll to try to do it.
Got it.
But here's what I'll do. Why not? You're gonna you're gonna add the D8, but there has to be a consequence if you do fail it. So you got a 10. Taroxes gives you +2, so you're at 12. Go ahead and add your D8.
I was about to say, I looked it up. The average halberd is between 5 and 6 feet long.
Okay.
Not enough. He's probably got a big halberd, right?
I
I would imagine. It's not about his halberd
I
as
got
much
an
as
8.
you got an 8. Okay. So then it's just as she's like
Oh,
kind of
take a picture.
slipping, your fingers are slipping on it's almost like you miss it, but Taroxes, you tip it, giving her another opportunity in the same moment to grab onto it. And she's not a heavy, humanoid at all. But because of that, Taroxes still has to kind of plant his feet. How much do you think Fitz weighs? It's probably a little over 100 pounds. So Taroxes, just give me a strength check.
I can do that.
On that one.
Don't that one, don't that one.
It's a 7.
All right, that's
How
enough.
dare
That was a
you.
DC
How dare
5.
What was that, a 2?
A 3.
Roll 3.
That was a DC 5, man. You almost went over the edge.
It's these dice,
He
man.
catches her, think, and his hoof slips, but he's able to plant it against like a post and pull hoist little Fitz up, put on her shoulder.
Oh, my little hooves are like tippity tippity tap across the
Rocks
edge.
and stuff. This place has been quiet for I don't know how many so long, and now there are rocks falling and clanging around the bottom of the cavern, clang, clang, doing all that.
You guys, don't try that. That was way harder than I thought. Way, way further than it looked, you guys. Maybe don't try that. Maybe don't try that.
Okay. We won't.
Suddenly, there's a slight rattling of some type, right above Pythias and Medios. A perception check.
Hey. It's rolled a 20, so it's 20.
Okay, so you whip around Medios, ready for this thing that's coming. You see this giant red snake slithering down the side of the wall towards you. Telmoon, as you're waiting, you hear slithering coming down the hall in front of you as a blue snake slowly approaches. What are you all doing? And they kind of rear their necks back. Like, just there's giant snakes. I mean, like the head is the size of your head, you know, Pythias. It's and Telmoon, this thing like it could bite you and swallow you.
We got a snake. And how big's the tunnel? Like what we working with?
It's a
We're still in the cavern.
You're still in the cavern, but you're at the entryway, so it's coming out of the entryway that you're going to run into. It's coming out of the right directly in front of you. So if you tried to run around it, it could have a chance to strike. It would pretty much be. It's only 5 foot wide. It's essentially like a small 5 foot wide tunnle.
It's taking up the whole tunnel. It's
coming at you.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
But like an animal, you know, waiting and almost like rearing and eyeing the situation, trying to use its survival to figure out how it can get this meal. Pythias, you were saying?
Yeah, seeing this, I'm gonna nudge Medios like, heads up. Should we jump over?
Medios, yeah, you guys could just run from it and launch. You guys could do that as well.
Yeah.
Medios is it's close enough that he can, as the snake head's coming down, he can see it.
Yeah.
He's gonna try and strike it with the spear.
And it goes to strike as well. Roll initiative.
Okay.
2 giant snakes. We will give me 1 second to set them up. You guys you don't have to rush and call out your initiatives just yet, but roll them. And I'll say also if you need a quick restroom break or water, this is a good chance to get up, stretch your legs. Give me 1 second here.
Well, you saying we all have like half a turn, half a movement bonus action right now, or is it we waiting for initiative? Of course, fucking Medios decided to stab.
Of course he did. Hey, you got a 14 for initiative, so. I wonder what happened to Nick.
Yeah, I don't know. Like he knows about today. I don't know why. We definitely confirmed.
I hope he's okay.
And we messaged him. He's probably asleep, man. That boy. I don't know if it's just. I think a lot of stuff's going on at home, and he just sleeps weird hours. Like that's why you got to turn into an alcoholic, because it's bad for your body, but at least it's better than not sleeping.
Yeah.
Get enough to just make sure you can go to sleep every night, like.
Get that little nod in, be like.
Wholesome advice from D&D.
That's right. We should make apologies to your mom now. We're sorry, Nikki's mom.
I'm not recommending it for everybody. You know, substance abuse is a real thing, but you know, you gotta find your balance. You know, Lil Zeke will is good for people, but for me, I don't think that's any better for my body than a little alcohol. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my glass of red, like my doctor used to tell me, and call it a night.
Fair enough.
Snake fight.
I'm glad I rolled fairly high because I was trying to spare my spell slots. I did not mage armor or anything. I am walking around with a low DC.
I had an idea. I was gonna try and intimidate him, but this works just as well. I was gonna giant smite and make myself a very not
Alright.
appealing target. But Meteos wants this.
We have our own snake, Taroxys.
Snake head coming down. I mean, he's not gonna not attack that thing.
We got it.
We got our own snake. Okay. The funny thing is, most of his creatures can't hit me because of shield,
Yeah.
but he only not 20 me. Which is why I'm always down, because I'm a sorcerer. I'm a D6 character, and he nat 20s me every time.
Well, that's the only other good thing about Mal. Also, I think using the D&D Beyond dice is as much as it screws me, it also screws him.
Yeah.
So that's how we survived the entire Gorgon fight.
Oh yeah, yeah. Again, the only time we got hit was absolutely crushed me.
Yeah, I wasn't hit at all. I was like, man, it is really wailing on the little guy.
Yeah, I think it did like 26 damage or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, like, that would have downed me in one hit a level ago. So the snake is taking up this whole little cavern.
You've fought giant snakes before. You have experience. Okay.
Okay. That was a fake drop. Just playing with us.
I was about to say, the more it drops, the more editing has to be to connect these together.
Fitz, please don't faint right now. You are hanging over a 20-foot drop or so.
God. Hopefully we beat the snake's initiative, though.
Yeah, so snakes aren't that dexy. And I don't want to hear none of that constrict nonsense right now. This boy is in a tunnel. Let's go do constrict, which is that neck constrict. Ah!
We're in a cavern. I think they'll have a chance to slither out a little more.
Not if I can help it. I'm standing in the hole. I'm
Sentinel.
diving in. I'm going straight in, bro.
They're
Cornhole.
snakes. They're slippery. Not literally. Snakes aren't literally slimy, but still.
Yeah, I was just telling Jason that you both have experience fighting giant snakes in another world with another character. You got
Yeah.
this.
I'm going into the tunnel, so we better both have advantage attacking each other.
None of my business.
Come at me, snake.
It's gonna be fun.
They're so much softer on the inside.
So climb on in.
And what I should do is take a level of barbarian so I can quadruple my strength saves.
Isn't that like
Because-
the biggest issue for like actual snakes? Like when you try to feed them live bait, just the actual bait will fight on the inside. It's like,
It
no.
depends. Snakes are very
Well, venomous snakes are a little different.
Yeah.
Real constrictors, if they do their job, but those raised in captivity ones, sometimes they just be like, well, I'm used to be able to bite and swallow. It's like,
I'm not
can't
used
do
to them
that.
moving back.
You gotta chew a little bit, bro. You can't just do that. Now I was watching all sorts of snake surgeries. I was so upset.
All right.
Now, did you hear me?
No, I missed it. What happened?
I said Telmoon is going straight down the tunnel, and he expects to have advantage against each other, against the snake, because there's literally nowhere else to go.
Let's see.
I'm trying to beat the snake into the tunnel before it pops out and just be in there, inside the mouth.
Okay.
Good luck.
He's like, you're crazy. You're not doing that. That's not happening.
And I'm rolling real dice from Medios through the D&D Beyond.
Yeah, none of that business.
Yeah. I'm getting ready to set
I mean,
up my
as long
second.
as long as we don't have to do a con save, I'm good.
He doesn't have
Dex
con.
Save, we're good.
I guess I'm not having
I
dex.
don't have any
seems-
con or dex. I've not passed any of those. That's why all my characters
That's
wind up on their ass, or dead, or turned to stone, or underneath the sand.
No.
It's not a Meteos problem, it's a Renee problem.
Yeah.
Renee is Meteos' dex higher than 12?
Let's see.
Because we tied on initiative.
His
look
dex
at
is
that.
15.
So you can go first.
Sweet.
I apologize for this randomly thrown together random encounter, but it's gonna have to do.
We got this.
No
All right.
worries.
Fine.
Oh man, look, the snake already out of the hole. My bad. My plan is. That's a little cute little baby snake though. Like, tell me who's not
yeah,
scared
he's
of
just
that.
he's just big for your size. That's all it is.
like I'm sure like it wouldn't be fun to get bit, but that's like a normal
Oh, I'm
anaconda.
sure.
Like that's not a D&D anaconda.
All right, cool. Well, we can work with this.
Mhm.
All right, so give me 1 second to pull up the encounter really quickly here. Because this one is, I wrote this one was one of the randoms, so it did happen. They are there. Okay. I don't think you guys have to worry too much, but we'll see. Okay, so Taroxys, what you got?
15.
15. Apodexis up to he's not there. He's Media.
He's stone.
Actually, what's we'll go with what's Medios's? I'll put him in.
Medios got a 14.
14. Pythias.
Also a 14.
14. Fitz.
Dirty 20.
30-20. Nice. Talmoon.
18.
And then Proxinos is not here. So we will. And then you have Medios' stats and all that, right?
Yeah, I have it pulled up already.
Because I won't have to pull it up.
Yeah, no, that's also why I'm rolling real dice for this one.
Sweet. All right. So Fitz, you have the jump on everybody, snakes and all. As you can see, you got the gap or the 30-foot jump there. There is a way to work your way around, but it's a lot more cumbersome. And then the snake is in your way. Oh yeah, and you are on the side. You're on the side with these guys. Because Taroxy's just pulled you up. There you go.
Oh, okay.
So this is where Fitz is. And then, so there is a tunnel here. I don't have it here, but essentially think that Talmoon was about to go through this tunnel and this stake is right here and it's now blocking the way on both sides.
I am going to cast command
Okay.
and tell the snake to flee.
Okay. So
Wisdom save of
wisdom,
14.
Yep. And with it being an animal, it's probably not that good. Well, it did not have any modifier, but it rolled a 17.
Oh,
Probably very
you sassy
hungry.
snake.
Yes. It just hisses back. Is anything else that you want to try or do? Otherwise, the next snake that will go will be the red one on the other side. Oh, actually, no, it will be the
high initiative. Look at that.
Oh, actually, it'll be the blue snake.
Also, just in case it's supposed to be, I mentioned in the chat that music isn't playing.
Oh, thank you for letting me know. I didn't know. I'll bring it back.
Blue
Give me
snake
one.
rolled that 19, huh? Must be more dexy than I thought he was. That lets us know something. It's good to
He's
know.
gonna get you.
Who's next up after me?
Probably me, but
Yeah, the snake, the snake and Tubman.
Then I am going to poke Telmoon and be like, can you believe he didn't listen to me? You go tell that snake what for, and I'm going to inspire you.
all right.
Wait, what is happening, man? Some nights just have. Okay, so then we're moving to. Oh, so it's a snake. So hold on, I was trying to fix the Spotify stopped working on me. Okay, I'll reload that. But while I do, bear with me for a second. That's the snake will, just so we can kind of keep moving while I fix that. The snake will lash forward towards. I think Pythias was probably closer where I described it. So he'll kind of it actually doesn't have to be. I'll just move him back a bit and then move that the snake moves in for the.
You said it's blue snake, right?
You're right. So that means it's on the other side. Okay. So the blue snake will strike.
But you hit Pythias if you want to. I'm just
No. You're right. You're right. Because it's based on the snake stats. That would be the one that I'm looking at here. So that one will strike, and as it leaps forward towards Telmoon, then it will make a bite. One bite attack.
AC right now.
Actually, it wouldn't even have moved. It just would have. It's still right in front of you, but it has a reach of 10, so it would have lashed out. It hit an 18. Does that hit you?
Shield.
All right. And then that would cause it to miss. So as that snake misses, Telmoon, you are up.
Ooh, I get my reaction back too. Hey. How much vertical does the snake got?
What do you mean?
Like, how tall is it, like, above my head right now, like, compared to the roof?
I think he's like kind of winding up, and you could probably make a leap over his head. Because it's only about, even I think Taroxy's at this where the tunnel's getting smaller would have to kind of duck down. So it's only about 6 foot high. You're probably 5 something, and so the snake's head is like right around there. It's hovering. It would be, but you'd have to you'd have to do it when it moved. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna allow the nonsense, I'd like to make some sort of acrobatics to try to get over its head.
All right.
Will I have to roll for it, or can I just do it?
You're gonna make a dex save against a dexterity. You're actually not a dex save, but an acrobatics check against the dex of the snake.
Okay. Heck yeah. 24.
Music should have went back. You got it, Josh. Now do you hear it? Okay. So you leap over.
I lingered on that one for way too long before rolling that 19.
What'd you get?
I got a 24.
Yeah. So you make it. So it goes to strike, almost like as it was striking, and you shield. Ting! You like roll over, like you block the strike. You roll over its back, slide down. You see the rattler behind it. You know that it's poisonous, as hasn't had a moment to whip around. You're now behind it.
So enough for him to keep back. Or a bonus action at the same time during my flip, I would have bonus action activated my ancestral.
Okay, so ancestral guardian.
Ancestral guidance, yeah. Or yeah,
guidance. So I always think of ancestral guardian.
Doing my glowing. Yep.
Okay.
And then can I continue back? Can I continue along this path?
Oh, so you want to run away? I see.
I mean,
or
you know the game.
You know the game. You'll try to force the opportunity.
I want to see if it'll try to hit me with its tail or something.
Which I always do at random because I think it's got plenty of targets. So as you go to strike, it's going to try to strike at you. You move away from it.
All right. It's
it's a dumb snake, so it's just going to attack. Yep. So it's going to roll, and it gets a dirty 20.
Nope.
All right.
So I will go ahead and that's a 22 to hit.
Okay, you do hit. The snake's AC is only 14.
And that's that's a 10. That's not the right thing to be rolling. Why do I not have an 8? I'm stupid. Okay, that's 13 damage.
How do you kill it?
And then
what? It's a giant snake. You guys are doing.
Well, I guess I was trying to distract it, but I guess as I flip over it, I slice its head off.
It just comes right off and slams against the ground and starts to writhe around.
My special abilities because I'm scared.
That's kind of sometimes that's the point. You should. Go ahead and use it now so you don't have it later.
All right. Well, I do not take another strike at it because it's dead.
It's dead.
So I will end my turn.
So Telmoon, son of Telamon, has gone. As right next to him, Taroxy's probably was about to bash this thing on the head as he watches its body like slump over. What does he want to do? Can I have a perception check from you, Taroxys?
I can definitely try. That's a 5.
Okay, so Taroxi's just looking at the dead thing and watching Telman stand in the hallway, and what does he want to do?
He's going to use his action to give Telman a high five, and then turn around and look to the other side and just shout encouragement. The others like, if Telman can do it, you've got this. No offense, Telman. You are a great warrior, but there are 2 of them.
As Taroxis yells out to Medios and to Pythias, Medios, you are up. Medios, can I have a perception check from you?
Do not let that snake punk you.
It's gonna be 13.
13. So yeah, this snake is slithering towards Pythias, looking like it's rearing back to strike. Kind of red coiled scales, and what do you do?
Grabs both with both hands the spear, and then tries to slice at the head.
It does have reach too, so I was looking at this. So you do have a 5-foot reach, so you could stay out of its range if you wanted to in attack. It's +1, right? Oh yeah, actually you've attuned, so I think it's +2.
Yeah.
it's now
The
plus
snake
2.
also has reach, though.
The snake also has reach. The
Snake
snake has
also
a
has
10-foot reach. So technically, when I moved it in, it would have just been standing right there. So you would probably have to move in to right there to hit it.
Okay.
But yeah,
So it's 16 to hit.
that is going to hit because it's only It's a 14. Yes.
14 AC
It's a
14.
regular ass snake.
And he's doing. So that is going to be 9 damage for the first attack as he gets 3, correct?
All right. Yeah. Oh my
So
God, he
that's
gets
the first
3.
one.
Why did I give him 3 attacks? Jesus.
The next one
NPC's
is-
gotta go.
That's another 17.
Oh
to
my
hit.
God. Yeah, he's gonna kill it. So we might as well just skip to how he's gonna kill it. Like.
You don't need Apo, right? Let's just stick with Medios.
Yeah,
We'll take the
and then
brothers.
that's 10. So
Actually,
10
no,
more damage.
he's actually not. It's a different snake. So how much? Go ahead and keep rolling your damage.
okay, so that's
It's not super strong, but
another
it's a
10
little
damage.
bit weaker than that. 10. So how much
Okay.
damage total?
And then last, so that was 10 more, and then last attack is
20.
14.
14.
Okay.
So
Then last damage is
34 damage.
8.
Oh no, 14 was a hit. Okay, so last damage is 8.
Yeah.
So 28 total damage. So
He's just swinging that spear back and forth with both hands.
yeah, and then he just kind of causes the snake to sort of rear back, and when it goes to strike, he catches it like right in the throat, and it hisses. A bunch of like goo splashes out. He rips it off like I just ripped my headphones off, and but it's still alive. This one much bigger, much stronger, but still very much hurt. As Pythias is up next.
All right. Yeah, Pythias turns to him and like, oh, that's really great, and he'll move forward with the shield up and then kind of lunge with the sword. I do not have 3 attacks. I have 1, so I don't think that's gonna hit.
14 is for this one. Actually, it's a different snake. So what did you get?
It's a 9. It's not
9.
gonna hit.
That will not hit. As you strike, you swing out. You miss. Pythias' shield goes up. Is there anything else that you do bonus action wise, or do we leave it at that?
I'm good.
And I have a perception. It's not really going to
Yeah.
matter, but I asked everyone first. I'll still. Yeah.
A 19 on perception though.
Yes. So what you do see is as you spin around, looking over your shoulder, you start to hear the hiss of the creature that is climbing up the side of the wall. And what you see 2 double snake heads, and those are going to.
Got 4 hits.
Again, it's going to be 30. They're going to do 60 feet. It will not strike. But when it's up on the landing, it just slithers its way up, crawling just wrapping itself around the scaffolding. You see that where the tail should be on the snake is another head, and on the front of the snake is another head. So when it gets up, it's this dual-headed snake. facing away, looking over at Taraxis and Fitz and Telmoon across the way, but then also looking at Pythias at the same time. It has used its turn. Round 2, Fitz, you are up. So you're about, like I said, you're about 30 feet away from that thing on the other side, staring at you like it wants you to be its snack. Or you guys can just run down the hallway that you guys are at. But yeah. I will say that you guys get the feeling that you aren't, this isn't like when you were fighting the guard of the Hoplites. You feel like you probably have good control of this, especially with Medius over there. But there are 2 to 2 right now, so.
Fitz can see the creepy double-headed snake, right?
Yes. Yep. It's 30 feet away from you. Right
I'm going to shout at it. Hey, shoot! Get out of here! Go on, get out, shoot! And I'm going to cast Command again tell it to flee.
All right, it will with another 0 wisdom. These snakes, both heads whip around, looking at you, feeling the magic kind of wash over them, and they just shake it off. Just their pure, just will to want with a 19. They rolled a 19 to want to.
No.
To want to eat.
There are these rolls on Sundays, Mel. That's when you need them.
I wasn't getting that. So it does not, unfortunately, work. On the end.
Stomp my little foot.
Will she move anywhere or stay there?
She's gonna slowly back along the wall a little bit and be like, you guys, are we just gonna go down the tunnel? Are we gonna help them? Are we just gonna back slowly away? Pressed against the wall.
Nice. Okay, so as she does that, we move to Telmoon.
It's just 2 more snakes, right? They got it?
They got two more snakes to finish off, and one has 2 heads, but other than that, it looks like a snake. It is.
I guess maybe, Telmoon will go to the edge and throw a firebolt at the snake that's looking at him, just see if he can piss it off and make it not move towards his friends.
Okay. Just fireball it.
Did I have inspiration, Nikki? What's your die? A D6 still?
I think it's still a D6. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, because that was only an 11. Ooh, but plus 5? 16?
That will hit.
All right. And that is a D10's worth of damage, which is 8 damage to Snake Booty? Snakehead? I don't know.
So you slam, you slam this. You wondering how the snake eats and or where it defecates at some point, but it gets hit right in its face. It hisses as it rears back, and the other one kind of comes into view, looking at you angrily. Is that all, Telmoon? We move to Taraxis.
Taraxis also moves to the edge of the scaffolding and sits down, legs over the edge, and just starts clapping. You've got this! Show this snake how it's done! And he's just clapping and shouting encouragement from the edge. He's no use here. He's just cheering for them. They've got this.
He's waving the tiniest flag of the Rock Bullies.
He pulls out his flag and starts waving it.
Okay. He's got his little flags going. As Taraxis is hyping them up, I'll actually allow that to be I'm going to allow, since this is a fairly easy battle, to be a help action. So somebody can take advantage from Taraxis from what he's doing.
Did the red snake get an action on the first turn?
It did not. I missed it. You're right. Thank you for giving me that. So I'll do that now to you, Pythias. So I jumped ahead of the other one. It should have been right after you. That would have been a 23.
It's fine.
Thank you.
It's not high morality. It's just a nat 20. Don't worry about it.
16 damage.
This is fine.
Yeah. And then that was from that was for its last turn. So as it did reach out and it slammed in and pushed past and bit Pythias. You didn't feel anything venomous. But then we moved to Medios and then Pythias. then
Okay.
the snake, and then the two-headed snake. So I got those confused. I swapped, but the regular snake, then the two-headed snake.
All right. So he's gonna go for first attack. So that's 18. So that's 22,
It's gonna hit.
and that is 7 more damage.
At this point, as Medios is fighting, he has really summed up how this thing moves. He knows exactly where to step, where to stab. So it's an AC 12 to strike this thing. So you've hit it, I think twice so far.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this is the second time, so that's another 10 damage.
What was the first one? Damage wise.
The first one was 7,
Okay.
and this is
The
10
second one is
damage.
devastating. It's starting to coil up and back itself towards the wall of the cavern.
And he goes in for his last attack.
He can hear the double-headed snake, the Amphibiana. I can never say that. I have to look at how to actually pronounce this actual creature. But it is. You can hear it slithering up, coming in for the attack. So hoping that this is going to strike true.
And he misses his last attack.
So the snake
10.
watches the spear slam into the side of the wall, sparking, sparks a bit shower out, but giving Pythias a chance to actually get a win in here over Medios. Pythias, what do you do?
Slay it.
All right, Pythias, stanching a little bit of the blood coming out because that was a pretty big hit.
Yeah.
Points with his sword, and he is going to cast Hunter's Mark on this.
Okay.
I want to deal a little extra damage. And he's gonna. So he has the sword pointed and comes in for a swipe from the right. And rolls lower.
Oh my god. Doesn't hit. So the snake just keeps moving. And you know what I'm gonna say? It's the being out of the sea, like a fish out of water. It's like almost like he's not moving his normal way. He's kind of dry, like he's just kind of dry. But he's trying to adjust. And as he fights through, the snake does reach out and attack back. This time, not moving with its jaws, but with its entire body for another 23. Shit you not.
Yeah.
And reaches out with a +5 reach and grapples and starts to writhe and twist Pythias up into its grip, starting to crush him. You start to feel those those muscles very strong. Only doing 7. But starting to, and you are now grappled. So as you are grappled, the other creature moves in with a reach of, let's see, it's going to be 10 feet. So it would move right there, moves in, and then one bite towards Medios. Off rolled a natural 20 to an 8, so a 14. Does that hit Medios? Nope. It will strike. It will move in 5 feet closer. Try to constrict. Try to wrap him up to 25. So now Medios and Pythias are being constricted. Medios will take 12 damage. So you both are grappled and need a strength save to escape on your next turn. So Taroxys is probably clapping like, uh-oh.
No, he keeps clapping. This is even more exciting. Suddenly there's drama to the fight.
Yep. And remember, you guys could have had one of your rolls. Actually, Pythias, well, I'm gonna give that to you because you remember Taroxys had given a help action. So your miss, you could re-roll. That'll be my freebie for you guys to remember next time. But
Chop. No
That
stab.
is a 10.
still, that's a note.
Yeah.
Whew.
So far in this game for attack rolls, I've rolled a 3, a 2, and a 4.
Got some die? You got some other die? Can you go run to the store and buy another set real quick?
Nikki, those dice need the guillotine. Nikki sent me this meme where this guy has
I saw that this morning. It's hilarious.
Oh, yes.
And making the D20s watch this other one be chopped in half. So you gotta make an example sometimes.
What was the roll to hit Pythias?
It was a 10.
10.
Oh, so the
Or
one
to hit you.
to hit me was
I rolled a
23?
23.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. Well, in a weird way, I think this could work. The cloud rune just says when a creature you see within 30 feet is hit by an attack roll, you can use your reaction to choose a different creature other than the attacker within 30 feet of you to become the target of the attack instead. So
It has to be
I
30 feet
could-
of you, right?
Are they
Yeah,
within
they're-
30 feet?
You're not. It's much
Okay.
farther away now because the gap was 30 feet. Because remember we jumped
Right.
30, so that thing has moved all the way over to them now. It was a good try. If you were any closer, I would have probably given it to you. But yeah, Fitz, you are up. You still got, I don't know unless you want to laugh him to death or shoot an arrow at him or.
He'll probably throw you over if you want to.
Oh yeah, you guys can
I
be.
barely made it the last time. Not falling for that again.
So the creature with the two heads is looking pretty healthy. It's taken a hit. The other one is like on its last leg and is looking for the two-headed creature to help it.
But they're not within 30 feet.
They're not.
Okay. I will.
You can also start, otherwise if you're not jumping or leaping, or you'd have to scale either the wall right behind you or go down a level. There are some, there are the scaffolding. But it's all like, using it how you would normally move through terrain. Take a while.
I'm going to try and fling a dagger at the two-headed snake.
Okay. Go ahead. Go for it. Daggers.
Roxy's and Telmoon are trying to cheer on Fitz to reversal of roles. You got this.
An 18.
18 will hit. We follow the slow motion, follow the dagger going over the gap.
Me and my
going
D4.
down and slamming into the butt head of the snake.
Oh shit. That will be 6 points of damage.
It will take it. It hisses, starts to writhe back and forth. It is still alive.
What? That didn't kill it? I'm surprised.
No, you said you went after the two-headed one? If you
Yeah.
That one's still alive. That's the one I told you is not as hurt. That one's not feeling.
Yeah, alive and well. I just didn't want to hit my friends with a dagger on accident.
Val, are you a snake right now?
I had a snake in front of me. Yeah. I was doing wacky stuff with this.
I was like, what is that? Oh, okay. Oh.
I'm gonna shout across the way to Pythias, be like, "Did you see that? Sometimes I can hurt people without just making them laugh. It's great. You should try it sometime. Here's some inspiration for you."
And so as soon as you say that, Fitz, the snake that has a dagger in one of its eye, the other one is like writhing in pain. The other head whips around and looks at you, and the snake starts slithering down the pathway like it's going to, like it's going to like leap over to you guys' side.
Pressed against the wall again.
And we are at. So you seem like you've got its attention. If that was the point, you've got its attention. It is now Telmoon.
You know what? Telmoon wants to stand. How wide is this scaffolding's not very wide, so I'd either have to choose in front or behind of Taroxy's, right? I can't stand next to him.
You can stand. What do you mean? You can stand next to him.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna stand next to him, and I'm gonna hold an action to throw my firebolt as this guy actually tries to come towards us. Okay. I want to hit him as soon as he tries to reach.
Got it. All right. So he's holding his action. Does your sword? Does he cast this out of the sword?
Yeah.
I take
Yeah.
it, right?
So you're seeing like it's like a sparkler. Like my boy, the tip of the sword is just glowing right now.
Then Telmoon. And then Taroxys is standing next to him, waiting. What do you do?
He's gonna stand up and keep beating his chest while yelling encouragement, but he's also going to hold his action Because if that snake is coming towards us, gets in range, he's going to attempt to grapple it.
Okay.
Actually, before that, he's going to he'll just hold his action to grab if it gets in range.
Okay. Starts to slither and move. Medios, you are up.
And so we needed it was a strength
The
save.
double-headed snake is not inside of a melee range because of its reach. The other snake that you guys are fighting, you are actually not. It's close to distance, so now it's in melee strike range with both of you. It's in melee range with Pythias because Pythias is fighting it, but you are still standing outside of because you and it have been doing this reach thing back and forth. Unless you want to close that gap.
Only because you said that I was restrained by it.
Oh yeah, what am I talking about? So sorry, you guys are both restrained.
So it's a strength.
So it's a strength save.
Is he restrained by the Amphisbaena? Or is he restrained by
yes, I'm sorry. He's restrained by this bad boy. And then Pythias is restrained by that one. So with restrained you can still strike, right? But it's at disadvantage. Because it's not restrained, it's grappled. So when you're grappled, you can actually
zero movement.
Zero movement, but you can fight normally, right? Okay, so you can either fight or you can try to break free, but it's your choice.
He's gonna. So if that's the case, then he's gonna take his attacks. First one being that's 17 to hit.
17 will hit.
All right, and then maybe that is 11 damage on that.
It will
First
take
strike.
The 11 damage. Sorry, I'm getting all right. Takes it.
Second strike is.
So you're stabbing while it like.
Stabbing.
While
he's not moving, he's just there and striking at it.
Yep.
Next one is 16 to hit.
16. Yep.
Okay. And then that is 11 more damage.
Okay. 11 more. So now it's starting to look. More blood is starting to pour out of this thing while you're fighting it. I'm kind of thinking that's the old Conan the Barbarian scene when he's fighting that giant snake and all that blood starts flying out of that thing. Yeah. They both look really hurt and wounded now.
So last strike is dirty 20.
Oh yeah, it's gonna do it probably. Well, it hits for sure, but.
And it's, 9 more damage.
9 more. It's still holding on, but hissing, writhing, moving you back and forth. And Apple Medios, you're all done. The thing is still alive because you use your action. It doesn't let go. I could choose for it to let go, but I'm gonna say it's like trying to hold you and have both heads kind of like. So it's suddenly you. That whole thing it was going for, it's like no more. Now it's trying to kill you off in its clutches. Pythias, you are up.
Pythias is looking bad. Blood streaming down him as the snake squeezes it out at him. He's going to reach up and place a hand on himself so he does not die in this turn, and heal for 15 points. Lay on hands.
Okay. Starts to lay on hands. Go ahead, 15 points. Is that it? And that ends his turn?
That's my action.
All right. The holding him, the creature continues to. It will try to continue to constrict. So rolling, it will do a dirty 20.
Yeah, hits.
Constricts for 2d8. It's 14 damage.
Good thing, because that would have killed me.
Ooh, so you like as you're healing, it's like as your life is rushing to you, it's like pulling it. You feel like the walls closing in, pulling it right out of you. It's between you. This thing is on its this thing is dying. It's bleeding out, and so it's just like it's survival of the fittest. It's very animalistic in this moment. As we pull over to the other creature, the dual-headed creature, it is doing the same thing. One trying to constrict and strike. The first is the constrict on Medios is a 24. doing 9 damage, and then a bite to Medios' shoulder, but that only does 12, and I think misses him, right? So did the first one, the 24 hit, misses.
24 hit.
Yeah, 24, and then the
24
the constrict was only 9 damage.
Okay.
So he took that, holding on. We're back up. Fitz, what do you do?
Gosh. Oh gosh. How far away is
Regular
the
animals
double-headed
can
snake?
be scary sometimes. Like, we often forget that. So they're about, if you take the 30, you're like 30, 40, 50. The one over there is about 60 feet away, and the two-headed one is 10, 20, 30 feet, 25 feet away. 30, no, sorry,
Okay.
how many? 30, 40. This one's about 40 feet. That one is like 60 feet. We'll do that. Yeah.
So, at what point am I throwing with disadvantage if I throw another dagger?
After 20?
Because it's 20/60.
Yeah, so after 20, so it's disadvantage other way.
Between 20 and 60 is where the disadvantage is.
Fabulous. I guess that's what I'm doing, because that's all that can reach them. Yeah.
Who you throwing it at?
The double-headed one? The
Yeah, okay.
closer one,
All right.
right?
She tosses it. What'd you roll?
A 12.
That hits.
Oh! Oh!
Yep. That's its armor class.
You just roll up here with my D4?
That's why I feel for Pythias, because it's like literally. This is how I feel in Morgborg, where everything you need to hit is a 12, and I can never hit a 12. I can never hit a 12 in Morgborg.
That's 6 points of slashing damage.
And it this time slamming into the side of the head of the other. So now you have a dagger sticking out of both heads as it rides around. 6. And you know what? So with an animal's fight or flight systems kicking in, yeah, it you can tell that it's not its turn, so it can't move, but you can tell that immediately it looks like it starts to slither, diving down the side of the cavern wall. It's still holding Medios, but you could tell
That's the question, yeah.
You could tell it's going to drop him, most likely let go of him, just out of like escape. But where it's going to let go of him, that you don't know. It's still holding him right now.
Yeah, you get out of here. That's what I thought. You guys, I need to buy more daggers.
Yeah, because it's about to take those daggers with you.
Yeah.
Medios, grab the
Only
daggers.
2. The end. That's my turn.
And then we move to Telmu.
Telmu will high-five Fitz as he steps up next
Just
to
for
her.
the sake of, it's still where it's at, but it's like moving down the side right here.
Yep. And then he's going to go ahead and flick his sparkler over at Mr. Red Snake. It's a 25 to hit,
Hits.
and it's 6 damage. I don't know if fire works on Red Snake, but
6 damage on the fire. Takes it. The fire slams into that one. It's going to take kind of a will to fight. Oh my god. This one is just stuck in the corner taking the damage and doesn't know where to go and just keeps constricting on Pythias.
tried, buddy.
It rolled an 18 on its to stay in the fight. It's just the other one rolled a 4. It was like, I gotta go.
Try the pointy end of your sword.
Taroxys. Someone could make the leap if they want
He
to.
looks and he's like,
You're also down. You could do some crazy. I know there's scaffolding. You could, you could try some craziness. If you want.
Maybe they do need help.
and so he's gonna start scratching with his hoof and he's gonna dash a full 60.
Nice. When you dash and leap, do you recall how that works? Telmo? No, yeah, you
If
just
he
get a running
runs at
start.
least 10 feet, he gets a running start.
And then what's your
the
strength?
jump is twice his strength. But
Twice
his
your strength.
strength is more than 15.
Yeah, my strength is
He sounds
19.
pretty.
He can make the jump.
He can make the full 30. Okay, so yeah, you clear it.
And then he's gonna use that dash to the full 30 all the way to the red snake, and activate his goring rush. Immediately after you use the dash action on your turn and move
Nice.
at least 20 feet, you can make one melee attack with your horns as a bonus action.
All right. So we just see horns. The thing looks up, hisses as horns are coming at it.
And somehow, magically, due to the magic of D&D Beyond, misses. With a
Oh
9.
my god! So you rush in and slam into the wall. Just, he's not stuck, but of course he's pulling his horns out of the wall. But at least he's over there now. After that, I think it's Medios, and then Pythias.
Actually, I lied. I remembered that wrong. It's twice your modifier, not twice your total number.
It's twice your modifier, not twice your strength, right? So yeah, that would have been that's why I was like, that seems
He
interesting.
only jumps 19 feet, but
19 feet, so he would have to make a check as well. That's what I thought, but okay.
I can
Well-
roll for that. It'll be terrible, but I can roll for that.
We'll take your missing of your horns as that.
So now Medios, as the snake is falling,
Oh yeah, you got to try to you can. I guess you can still attack it, or you can try to get loose of the grapple.
so
I'll
that's a
leave
strength.
I will say
saving.
that you're doing a strength save. It's a strength save if you.
Okay. So that's going to be 18.
That passes. It's a 16. So you are able to wind and push, leap, using his shield and his spear for leverage, backflips, pushing the snake's head away from it as it cascades over the rail. It's still right there in melee range with you. You're using your action to get out, though, so that does take up that.
grab a
rush
dagger,
bonus.
Medios. Grab the dagger.
He just looks at him with like shield and spear, like, what?
I don't think he was thinking about a dagger at the moment. So he's out. You're out. Nothing you can do there. Pythias, you're up.
All right. And Pythias is constricted and like to Taroxius, thanks for the help. And he's going to grab his sword and try to jab the snake right through the jaw.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, got something over a 5. That's going to be... Yeah, it's a total of 20 to hit.
That's your hit right there. Give me some
Yeah.
damage. Hopefully it's
That's going to be a D8 plus a D6. Why can I not see things? I think it's... Well, we'll see if it does it. Yeah, it's 17 damage.
rightfully so. This is your kill. How do you finish this thing off?
Just what I said. I'm clenching up my neck, and I pull up the sword and stab it through the jaw.
Through the
Up
jaw.
into the brain.
And its whole mouth snaps closed. Its serpent tongue flickering out, jutting, its eyes kind of rolling and closing, like blinking sideways. Bunch of like blood and ichor kind of pour on your armor. You're wet, but you almost don't mind it as you've been so kind of dry from the heat, and it is gone. And as that happens, the other, yeah, good kill. That makes up for a lot there, Pythias. As that the double-headed snake is just cruising its way down the side of the mountain. It will, as it's leaving, it will snap at Medios with one bite.
Snack for the road.
Snap for the just to see if it does not hit. And as it like almost like leaps off of the side, like it's going to go down a couple and land on another scaffolding, like maybe another 20 feet below, the ground below it like the side of the cavern below it like glows really warm and hot, and looks like it liquefies. And this serpent, this centipede, comes out of the side of the mountain wall and catches the snake in its mouth. This giant centipede eats this is what the creature looks like. And as it comes outside a wall and grabs it, it swallows it and slams into the side of the wall and heats that and starts to crawl back into the wall. And you see its tail with its little arms skittering, leaving another hole there where it went in, and it's gone. Your combat is over.
There's always a bigger fish.
Now you guys get to figure out how to come over here.
I
Look
think
at
that's
Telmoon's
going to be fine.
inventory.
Taroxys definitely helps Pythias to his feet, gives him a good solid, maybe a little harder than it should be, clap on the back.
A good kill, my friend.
Thank you. Thanks for the assist.
Medios walks over to the snake and, with the spear, like cuts out one of the fangs and then snaps it off and hands it to Pythias. Never forget your trophy.
You're right.
Telmoon will reach into his pack and give Fitz his never opened out of the box still dagger that he just keeps just in case he might need it one day.
Oh gosh, this is so nice. Thank you so much. I was really worried because I only had 2 and I threw them and I had none. So I was gonna have to go shopping, but now I don't have to go shopping. Thank you.
Yes, this would be better.
And I believe I can help us get across the gap.
And so, before they really get a chance, his giant's might activates and he grows larger. He picks up Pythias and he yeets him across the gap.
Are you quiet about this? Are the 2 little satyrs having a conversation at the edge of this gap?
Oh, you all might get bowled over.
I'm also still holding a sword, just out.
It was an idea in Taroxy's act.
Strength, let me have a full-blown strength athletics check from you, because you're almost like doing, I forget what the task in the game, the discus. Yeah, he's just kind of just tossing.
So Pythias gets a nat 20.
Okay. Nice. And so Pythias, you go flying through the air, and Little Fitz and Telmoon are able to catch themselves and leap out of the way as you go flying by. Can I have a dex save from you to make sure you just stick the landing?
Don't run yourself through with the pointy end.
Yeah, 11.
11. So it's not pretty, but you kind of slam and you tuck and you roll on your shield, like a soldier, and you come up on your feet. But you kind of smile, but you felt it.
Now, Medios!
No.
Yoink!
Another one, another straight. From
That's gonna be 18.
No, that's from I need it from
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. All right.
Medios is trying not to get thrown.
You're flying over there. Medios, give me your dex save.
18 for the dex save.
You're good. You land. He lands quite nimbly and is showing some prowess as he's kind of been out here fighting and getting a little bit better.
And he looks down at Pythias and goes, "You realize your friends are idiots, don't you?"
Yeah.
Make way!
As Taroxys...
Get out of the way.
So now there's a full cavern that you guys can start.
Oh yeah, I'm rolling initiative. I'm running first. 18. I'm out.
So Taroxys, one more strength check, which I doubt she'll
We'll
miss.
take that leap. Thankfully, Giant's Might gives me advantage because I'm not taking that nat 1 to the bank.
Oh no.
But I will take a 15.
Oh my
That sounds
gosh.
right.
That will still do it, thankfully, as he makes it across to the other side.
We'll cast Shield of Faith on himself just in case.
And then about a minute has passed, so he kind of goes to his normal size.
How does the...
That was
Oh, I was going to say, what's... Did I freeze? I can't hear myself. All right. Testing. Can you hear me? Okay, I can't hear you guys. That's what's weird. So tonight's just been nuts. So frustrated. I'll try one more. Why don't I hear you all? Oh.
Maybe.
There we go.
It's a minute.
Okay, I'm back.
Anybody else?
Anyone else?
Okay, I missed everything that everybody said. You don't have to role play again, but I was just wondering how everybody's looking, what they're doing next.
Fitz is healing people who need it,
Okay.
and let's see here.
Yeah, she casts Cure Wounds 2nd level on Pythias, and he got 14 back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And Midius is like, medic!
And I cast on you, Medios, at 2nd level, and you get 20 points back. Extra pat on the back. Great work out there, sir. Great work. Really good. Where's the smile?
And you see him like glowing now that he's back at full strength.
Yeah, Taroxes looks great. He's excited. The throws were both just fantastic. He didn't even have to think about the idea. It just worked like he knew it would. So he had fun.
We did not know the throws would work, but he did.
Well, gosh, that was really exciting, you guys. Do you want to see what's down this tunnel? Are we ready? I'm ready. Are you ready?
I think that's the only way we hit. Well, I guess we can climb down, but let's just go.
Let's go.
And so you guys continue down this tunnel, marching single file with Telmoon ahead. Taroxy's ready to smash anything that jumps out. The shield lighting the way. Maybe are you all out of daggers, Fitz?
I was, and then Telmoon gave me one.
Oh, nice. You have one. So I think you can light that one. So maybe you light your dagger to kind of like a glow stick as you look around. You find all these fine carvings that look like mostly very ancient, nothing special other than mostly miners' directions that were carved into the side of the rock. But a lot of them, there's a point after about an hour where those stop. And I think the one that you did find said this way, back towards the, whatever you would call the room you were just in, the mining, hall or cavern. So you do come to this point where the cavern splits, and they both almost look like, they don't look identical, but stalactites overhead, but it starts to get darker and it starts to look more, there's less remnants of humanoids or people. You start to feel like you are in the natural form of the cave. And at this point, it is very hot and humid. Not from Taroxes, but from everyone else, I would like con saves. Very low at this moment. They haven't gotten intense, but...
toasty.
8.
Pythias, I feel for you. I hope that when we get to the sea, you just... everything goes better.
This is totally in character, though. Like, if it's gonna get hot.
So your first level of exhaustion kicks in. Ability checks would be a disadvantage right now. And you all get the feeling that even resting here, you would have to check while you rest long term for the same, to make sure so that you can get your full rest back. You'd have to make a con save just to rest, not for short rests, but for long, like 8 hours here. If you set up shop, you'd have to rest. You're probably a good 2 hours into this cave now, and there's this splitting point, darkness going down both ways. Actually, I will add a little description too. Is the well, it's even with your dark vision, you can see down about 60 feet. But dark vision, you're making out silhouettes, right? So it's still just because it's mostly the same. You're not able to pick out a lot of extreme features. But the one to the right, there seems to be like a candlelight flicker at the end of it, like almost like you can tell that it must round a corner, and there's light or something down there. If you go that way, the other cavern is just pitch black. So the one to the left, pitch black. The other one has a light flicker of flame, maybe at the 60-foot mark.
If it's the same to the rest of you, I'd want to go towards where it's not magma. Maybe the darkness is a little cooler.
Fitz, can I get a wisdom save?
Straight roll. You got it. 11.
Okay. And so Fitz is looking around from the really dark tunnel. No one else hears this, but you hear, Marco.
Oh.
Oh, you guys. Totally this way. Polo!
What are you doing?
Didn't you hear that?
You say Polo?
Yeah, but first someone said Marco. And then you respond with Polo. It's like a call and response. It's fun. Oh my gosh. I'm going this way. And I take my little bright dagger glow stick and I just trot down the dark path.
So she
and
starts.
You hear, come on!
So you guys follow? So Fitz is already kind of in there walking around and
Yeah, I mean, Bard in the lead. Let's
Lori.
Sure. It's a great idea.
As you walk down these dark cavern, you all are just, it starts to get tighter and tighter. The space starts to get smaller and smaller and closer to all of you, where to the point where you're like, but it does get cooler. It's not hot here. It almost feels like there's a breeze that's running through the mountain or something. It's almost unnatural. And it starts to descend downward, and the cavern twists, and you feel like you travel for at least another 25 minutes until it opens into a small little like shaft. Like you look down, and about a 10-foot drop, there's just a cavern there. And when you look up, there looks like a light in the ceiling. It looks like it could be daylight. It's so far up. Now I would say it doesn't make sense. Like daylight from where you guys are in the mountain, there's no way there's just a hole in the mountain, but at least that's what it registers like. It stretches like literally sunlight beaming down into this one little 20 by 20 foot radius room, and it's actually cool in here. Don't know why it is, but it's also it's one way in and one way out. It could be used as a place to rest or gather yourself. You could search it out more. You could hightail it back, but that's what you find.
It sprawls out on the floor and like lays on the cool stone to kind of cool down a little bit. And he's like, "Oh, do you guys want to hang out here for a bit?" Or
can I get a perception check from her?
Oh, is your ghost friend not talking to you anymore?
A 14.
14. Let me see.
Well, aren't you grateful that my ghost friend let us here? Like,
No,
this is
not
so
really.
much more nice.
I mean, this is
Oh
a pretty
my
nice
God.
place.
Thank you, Pythias. Thank you.
It's
And
just
thank
an
you, ghost friend, wherever
empty
you
room.
are.
So as
You
she
send
Roxy,
your
don't you get warm once in a while?
Yeah.
No.
she lays
Oh,
down
what
in
a
the
concept.
she notices that like she's laying in like on the ground. It's kind of warm, cool. It's kind of dusty, almost like ash, and she moves aside. She almost feels someone on her back, and there's a little chunk of rock. She's found another little stone. Looks like it's made of like blue quartz.
Look at this.
Can't see it.
You want to see it? Excuse me?
Yeah, and so it's a 10-foot drop down into the room from the space, but it's like it's almost gradual. So it's like it's like you could almost walk it, kind of, but it's it's not dangerous. With you guys' strength, you're not, even if you fail, nothing's gonna happen to you. But
Since there was talk of voices down here, if I use divine sense, is there any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet, not behind total cover?
there's not. You can only sense good or evil. You can sense good and evil, right? As well. Or no? Is it just?
I can read you out the.
I thought that was good and evil too. It's like good and evil.
Because you can detect good and evil.
Got it. Okay.
You sense anything affected by Hallow, or know the
Mhm.
location of any celestial fiend or undead.
Okay. Neither of those, though you do get, for a second, you get a vibe like it washes over the room, like, and the energy seems to move past or and around Fitz, and then disappears, like moving away. And it's not necessarily, at least the energy feels not necessarily good or bad, but you felt something there.
And it moved around.
Kind of like
Fitz.
moved around her, yeah. And then almost like when you're watching, like you're doing Ghost Hunters, like it got cold, like right in her area, but it's not. But you're not sensing undead, and then it moved away. Yeah.
Just keeping a watch out.
Are we resting? Is that what we're doing? Taking a rest.
Well, there's nothing in this room, so perhaps going back and tracing the other tunnel.
Isn't there a door? There's one way in, one way out? Or there's no other exit?
It's a dead end.
It's just a dead end?
I think there's a hole into another cavern down, right? We can go down.
Oh, in this room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't appear to be. No, it feels like it's just a room. It's just like a little pocket that you found. Yeah, here. Everyone give me a perception check now that they're in the room.
Eight.
Okay.
Ah,
6.
where were those in combat? It's a nat 20
16.
minus 1.
And this guy.
Ooh.
So so it's Taroxy's, right, with the nat 20. So Taroxy's is looking up and knowing the forge. He knows that the light coming from above, from where you guys are at, and knowing the mountains, that's not sunlight. But what that means is this light either reflected off of something, and it's probably another way out of this room. And because it's a cavernous rocky wall, you could climb it to the top to go that way, but you don't know what's up there. But you do know that's the only other way, other than going back in this room, is not going down, but going up towards the light.
And he expresses that to the party.
Yeah.
So we could go back, or if you're feeling a particularly brisk climb, that's another option.
And it looks like it's not like a one-check climb. Like it's like climbing you're gonna climb that hall, basically. It's like it's like rock, like in cave climbing or whatever. You're like cave diving, but going up.
Particularly brisk.
Well,
Gosh. I don't know if I'm up for that.
and as much as I like it in this room, I think maybe we should check the other direction.
It was nice to be here while it lasted.
Is this just
there
20
enough-
minutes? Is this a short rest? Or are they just moving on? Or I think they're all.
Is the room big enough that he can send his anvil rot up now?
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
it's
that's
like
a good idea.
about that wide, right? It's 20 foot. So you guys, there's enough space to kind of sit out, and then it goes up and goes up far. He can. I just wonder how far he can. Maybe is that something I need to make up, huh? How far he can actually see with that anvil rod? I haven't really given it.
Well, the
So-
Elfo Rock can see. It's just
No,
we can't
That's
see
what I'm saying.
it. He has to
Can-
come back and tell us.
Oh, okay, got it.
Or show us what it's all. Like, we can't see it actively past 100 feet.
Got it. So what do you like? The anvil rod comes out, and Troxy holds him up, letting him flutter. Starts to. After the first 100 feet, you can still kind of see him, like a silhouette, and then he's gone. Like he's gone into wherever that place is. I need to make a couple of checks. Give me a second.
Sometimes I have good ideas.
I'm sure my ghost friend brought us somewhere very, very nice.
Well, Fitz, the last place your ghost friend was in a toilet, so I don't know if it's got good taste.
It's true. I feel like I should give them a name or something. But yes,
Are we sure it's
were
the
in the
same ghost
toilets.
friend?
well, they always say Marco, and I always say Polo.
Did the first time didn't you say Marco first?
Well,
Yes. And Talmoon
It's a
also heard
little
the
bit of a-
reaction.
a fun call and response thing. That we've always done it. Although, yeah. I wonder
It doesn't
who
seem
that
like
was.
something you'd want to do around water ever.
Well, I mean, if you can't, like, underwater, I don't think they'd hear me. It'd be like, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Unless it was, like, telekinetic, you know?
It's about right. It's really hard to hear people speak above water when you're under.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I bet that's really hard.
Start to hear something from above. Taroxy starts to see the bird descending.
See, here
Down
you
the
could
hall.
say Marco, and it could say Polo. It's a great system.
And as he puts his hand out, it lands, and in its mouth, it's holding several, like as many as it could hold in its mouth. There's about 5 gold pieces in its mouth, and then a chain with a sapphire ruby in the middle, and it's decorated with 2 horses rearing up, holding the sapphire in the middle. And it looks like a very delicate chain. It looks like something that would be worn by someone of nobility.
Looks like it's time for
And he doesn't actually speak, and I don't think I think you can. The way I'm treating him is he can see for the first 100, and then he just tries to tell you what. He's like, "Woo, woo, woo," and then he drops it in your hand.
Taroxys takes that handful, shows it to Telman, and leans in.
I think it's time for a climb.
Anyway, we could convince you that the goat people can do acrobatics on this climb instead of athletic.
You know what? We could all go back to back, Emperor's New Groove style, and just tippy 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 tap all the way up.
If it wasn't 20 feet, I would definitely agree with you.
Well,
Can I
maybe
have-
one of the taller folks could give us a hoist.
Can I have who's holding the gold right now? Just Taroxy's?
He dropped it into Telman's hands.
Telmoon's hands.
Someone is holding it.
Telmoon, can I have an investigation? Unless you're not looking over it or you're just putting in an
Oh, yes.
investigation check.
Telmoon is the
And
investigation.
then everyone else, I
expert.
want a insight or I want a survival check from everyone else.
Someone got a dirty 1 on this gold.
So he, What does he do with it? It looks like a necklace, for the most part, and a little.
You people like horses, right? I'm gonna toss it to Medios.
I got a 13.
Medios crabs it and looks, and he's quiet. Just puts it on.
Do you want me to, like, I don't know, identify it or something? Or
No need.
Medios got a 14.
So Medios says no need, and pretty much Medios, you tell them it's your mother's.
oh gosh, I got a 15.
And so that's for survival. So with survival, I guess that fits you. I'll share from a 15 is that, yeah, wherever this thing came from, it definitely came straight up. Straight up is a dangerous way. Fitz sees that, right? Anyone would see that. Think of it as when you watch Dark Knight, The Dark Knight Rises, Batman trying to climb up that thing and knowing that if he falls, it's a wrap. It's that high up. But that's possible. But I think Fitz would also understand with how far you've only explored, there could be another way. But that way, who knows if there's the other ways dead end, or if they wrap around, or if this is just the way to go. So I think she knows that there could be possibilities, but this is a sure shot. It's just got to be executed right.
Do we have Pythons, DM?
Yes, you do have Pythons. You have all the gear you need. You guys have never done anything like this all together, so yeah.
Guys, we could lay out all of our bedrolls on the ground and make a cushion in case anyone takes a tumble.
Here's another thing.
Or
Will
we
you
could
guys
leave.
be going up here without Proxinos?
Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna go all the way back to get Proxima. What?
I mean,
Well, it's only been 2
Yeah,
hours
we'll
and we
have to.
know
yeah,
how to
that's
get
what I'm saying.
back.
You guys know how to get back. That's what I'm saying. So would they start this now, or would this be something that they would go back to get him, or would they check out the other place?
Theoretically, I think that we would. I would want our best climber trying to set Pythons to where the other people can tie in and not actually fall to the ground, hopefully, or have some sort of save. Because you're tying into the Python as you grow to it, or as you climb to it. I need somebody to lead climb. Yes.
Yes. I'd probably be pretty good at climbing. Don't know if Tarox is even better.
My strength is 19.
So okay, Taroxy's is 19. So Taroxy's would start the climb first, create as many Pythons as possible. Okay, give me your first strength check as you begin the climb, as everyone kind of watches Taroxy's go. Does he take a rope or anything, or is he hoist? Is anyone helping leverage wise, or is it just?
I don't know if he can even get a handhold because that's a 9.
So as he gets like halfway up, his parts of the wall kind of break off, and he tumbles back in the first 10 feet, taking 3 bludgeoning to damage. As he looks around, shit, brushes his hands off. I don't know if
he's gonna activate his giant's might and then try it again.
All right.
But he gets advantage. So that's a 22.
All right. So he starts climbing, reaching up, gets up 10 feet, gets up 20 feet, and what's the party doing? Is they're kind of watching him, kind of set the Pythons. Anything anyone else is sharing or doing at this moment? So far, so good. So far, so good is what I'm telling Taroxys.
Fitz is definitely taking her bedroll out and laying it as a crash pad on the ground.
It can also inspire if she has it.
case anyone falls, and
Yeah.
we'll definitely turn around and be like, "Hey, look at you! You're a climbing fool!" Ah! Finger gun inspiration. D6.
Nice. So she's finger gun. She's like giving him that inspiration. Taraki's continues to climb, and would he just try to go all the way to the top and set it, and then he would have to come all the way back?
Kind of just setting the pythons along the way, just boom, with his like bare fist, because he's got the strength to just drive the python into the wall.
And as he starts climbing, we kind of leave him. The camera starts to push up, and as it gets to the top of the camera, it kind of goes through the dark little crevice. We see ants and weird centipedes and creatures crawling. We kind of come down in different parts of this giant cave, seeing molten lava pouring over itself through another cavern, all the way into the center of the volcano, where we see like a large metallic figure, kind of like bathing in the lava, all in this bronze, holding a giant hammer. Perforos smiles, thinking about how it's on, between his champions, and we'll crash to black and in there. All right, good stuff. Yeah, that was it's getting crazy. Finding the. Oh man, yeah. I wish Proximus would have been here for this one.
Yes. He could turn into something that
Has he messaged anybody?
Yeah, he texted me earlier, maybe like an hour ago, just confirming that he wasn't going to make it for tonight.
Yeah, no worries.
Well, if he's still within 130 feet, I can send him a message.
To Taraxis?
To
Proxinos is
Proxinos.
way more than 130.
Are we way beyond that?
You guys are like you're like a couple hours
yeah.
into just that part of the cavern, which is
just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, sending.
Yeah.
I only have message.
All
That's so
right.
funny. I
that, we
thought
would
the snakes
technically-
were gonna be dead like so fast, and I was like, oh, you were getting wrapped up. Okay, this is getting scary.
Turned into a real fight.
Yeah.
I
They
gotta
always
rush
do.
out just because work tomorrow, but
Sure.
love you guys, and
Thanks.
next sesh.
Next session.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Next session should be
Figure,
a good
Josh.
one. Should be a good one. There were some things I had to hold back on this one, so yeah. Oh man, I love how I was like mining episode. Everybody was like, "Fuck that." I was like,
So bummed. I was so ready to mine, and everyone just freaking left. But that's fine. I've got a Ruby to show
I would
for
have been
it.
good to mine if you guys said, let's get the diamond and go back. Y'all said we're looking for a dragon horn. Mine
Yeah,
sounds
I was like-
crazy compared to
though.
looking for it. It's like, why are we gonna
yeah, I was
stop
like,
mine?
we need a
Go get
diamond
Dragon
to say. Like, you guys keep off shooting your purpose, so it's like I don't even know what's going on anymore. It's like save Foxino's mom. Perforos says I give you permission to save her, but also I'm up here. Go to Perforos. It's like
It's not
go
my to
to
fault. They
Perforos.
give me a mission,
Apple
I
gets
follow
turned
it.
to stone.
I'm
Go
too
save his
stupid.
mom or go save Apple. Go save Apple. All we need is one diamond. Ooh, you know what's better than one diamond? An entire horde. It's like-
The entire horde that no one has ever come back
Ever.
from seeking.
If anything,
Ever.
I think it was
all
Medios' fault.
Speak for like, don't do it. Do something else. Don't look for that. And we're like, heck yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not true. That's not true. No one's
That
ever.
is
No
so
people.
true.
People haven't come back from coming to this forge. The
This is
Gorgon has
true.
been a guard. We
Yeah.
killed the Gorgon.
Assuming that's the only one.
I mean, our boy didn't tell us about no other guards.
Yeah, he said there
He
was
lives
just
here.
the one.
But we already
It's
ran
like,
into
damn, y'all
some
killed it.
sketchy snakes,
Well, those aren't guards.
And
Those just live
some
here.
molten centipede.
right? I think there are
Yeah,
other
what
things
happened?
to worry about in this place.
Now,
I
I
would
think the
be
one
really
weird thing is they
surprised,
did
yeah.
just find a necklace from Artemisia. It's one of
Yeah.
her. It's one of her. It's one of her treasures.
See, my ghost friend totally led us in the right path.
Yep.
Should listen to him more often.
Oh, that's not what you're convincing us of.
I
So
should've just
scared of your
swung
ghost
us
friend.
right into that toilet.
Oh, I
I'll
would be
just be more
scared. Of,
impulsive.
I love that she's not scared of the ghost friend. I'd be like, she just follows it.
Yeah, because
I mean,
does
it only
Medios
got her completely lost
Yeah.
from the rebel,
From the
but
rebel.
you know,
see? Does Medios know that? That's
I don't
how
think she,
you.
I don't know if she shared it. No.
No one's ever talked to me about it, so we haven't really had a chance to sit down and be like, so what's your tragic backstory?
Remember, those are things, I know we always wait for people to bring them up, but those are things you can bring up while you're talking about things, like, you know, or share.
Yeah.
That's even a great moment. It's like, well, what, like, you're talking to a ghost, you're like, yeah, I've always talked to this ghost. I've been talking to this ghost for years. Like, you know, it's like.
Yeah. It's always been like that.
That's a conversation Appa would have had with you had he not been turned down.
Yeah. And he's just watching right now, Returned. That's like a whole nother thing.
That's gonna be
just
interesting.
walking, just go into the real world, like in droves. Because technically, the return should like be like one here, one there.
Yeah, it's like one-offs and not full on like, hey, let's make a factory of Returned.
And so the idea is that like when you die, you go to the shores, like the book says. The THEROS guides come, they get you. But if you're like petrified or whatever, your soul's just like trapped in these like that weird like limbo spot. You're just statues along the river's edge. It's basically where he's at. Yeah. So kind of like semi-conscious.
Even if he was smashed, if he doesn't have coins in his pockets, he's gonna be in for a bad time.
Yeah, he'll just be stuck. So
Mal, is that the Skinny Mini Tower or is that a different one?
that's a Skinny Mini Tower. Yeah.
Okay.
That's so I can
All right, yeah.
like I said,
Looks pretty good.
I can tell the guys that I use the Skinny Mini Tower. So because they gave it to me and they were like, I've been trying to find a place to use it. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bust out that Skinny Mini Tower tonight. Because that encounter was like, sometimes I do use random encounters when you guys are exploring like labyrinths and stuff. Because I just figured like I know what's in this mountain, and sure enough, since that happened, I was like, okay, this is a moment where they're on the scaffolding, so I'll bust that out. Yeah.
Is that the new box that came?
This one is so I've been talking to Roman, is the guy who owns them, and so they came over to my place like 2 weeks ago because they just want to see my room, because I think what they want they want to find a studio to use, and they probably want to spend less money, so they're like, can we just use your like room and like take pictures of miniatures and stuff? And so he brought me one of those just to use and try out. So they're working on I actually don't know what they're working on, but I shouldn't say, but they're working on some really cool stuff for the future that's kind of based on the way that worked. So that's what I'll say. Pretty cool. Yeah.
I was just wondering because I think we got that one in Dungeon in a Box, and I'm like,
oh, you got that whole thing in the Dungeon in a Box? Dude, I wish I would have got one of those. I'm not there yet.
I think it's the new.
Way behind.
No, I think